Well, if you're happy and you know it, clap your emoji hands. Yeah, yeah. If you're happy and you know it, clap your emoji hands. I'm so excited and I just can't hide it. Welcome, welcome to In the Mix. And not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, but at six. How you doing? How you living? How's it going? What's happening? What's up, y'all? I hope you're doing well. It's yours truly, Dr. Eddie. We are in the mix at six. And you know, we do this Monday through Friday, each and every single weekday. Yeah, at this time, at this time. So I want you to make sure that you invite somebody in. Come on, like, comment, share, subscribe, invite somebody in tonight. I know, share if you care. I know you're here because you care. So I need you to help a brother out. Share, share, share. I hope you've had a great week. I hope it's been rather productive, not just busy, but productive. So invite somebody in. Come on, your timeline can be someone's lifeline. Tell somebody, tag somebody, text somebody, let them know that we are live. Yes, on the digital airwaves of Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Come on, I need you to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You know my goal in 2024 is to help you reach yours. Yeah, that's right. My goal is to help you reach yours. My desire is to inspire. My assignment is to put you in alignment. My job is to empower you to access and identify your identity. This is what I want you to do. I want you to become a member of the amazing Eagles Academy. It's where I teach, it's where I coach, it's where I train, it's where I mentor you. It's where I empower you to really sharpen your mindset, your skill set, your tool set, be an asset in any environment, particularly with your business and in your relationships. Yeah, I want to show you how to increase your ideas, your impact, and your influence, as well as your income. Join me in the Eagles Academy. Go right now, theeaglesacademy.com. Yes, theeaglesacademy.com. When you get there, tap the join now button, fill out the form, and we will welcome you with not just open arms, but open wings. Wings of love, yes, so that you can experience the amazing transformation, the information, and then bridging the gap between information and transformation with application. Information, application, transformation changes situations. Hesitation also keeps you in the same situation. Go right now, eaglesacademy.com. What I love about it as well, the Eagles Academy, even if you're not able to be at all of our live sessions, everything is where you can watch it at your leisure. You miss a session, you can always have access to be able to go back to it. You can see every session that we've ever done, that I've ever taught. You can actually engage on your own time frame as you want. We in the mix of six. I want you to make sure that you invite somebody in. Let me know where you're watching from. Come on, let me know where you're watching from. Put on for your city. Let me know what city you're watching from. Come on, write your city out, write your state out, wherever your location is. Send me your location. Let's focus on communication. Yes, I'm glad you're watching with me too. We're in the mix at six. I need you to invite somebody, share, tag, tweet, tell, text, at least six people. Come on, invite at least six people since we're in the mix at six. Yes, if you're ready tonight, type let's go. Type let's go, let's grow. If you're ready tonight, type let's go, let's grow. You know that that's our intention every single time, to stretch the elasticity of your thinking. Type let's go, let's grow. Part two. We're in part two of his needs, her needs. That we are. His needs, her needs. As you know, yesterday we covered the whole aspect of man's needs, woman's needs. If you haven't seen part one, I encourage you to go back and watch part one. His needs, her needs. Go back and watch part one. Go back and watch part one. Been getting a lot of good feedback from it. You want to check it out. His needs, her needs, part one on the YouTube side. Go check that out. As I was saying yesterday, fine line between being needy and being needed. And a lot of times what we do is that we don't realize that these days everybody's not looking for love. Some people are just looking for help. That's whether it's mental help, whether it's financial help, whether whatever categorization of help that you can possibly think of. Everybody's not looking for love. Some people are actually looking for help. They're looking for the hookup. I got the hookup. Holler if you hear me. They're looking for somebody to be the plug. So, you have to be conscientious, have to be aware, have to listen to what people say, got to listen to what people don't say. And when you think about the fact that a lot of people are more needy than needed, you're able to draw a fine line in the sand. Sometimes you can't recognize who's needy because you're needy as well. As we addressed yesterday, we talked about needs. Nothing's wrong with having needs because we all need something. Basic human needs: oxygen, food, water, clothing, shelter, money. Needs. Wouldn't you agree? We mentioned that. Needy is the opposite. If need is essential, needy means minimal. Needed means needed means that I am in abundance. Needy means that I lack. Need, essential. Needy, lack. Needed, I fill in the gap. Okay, so we talked about that yesterday. Notice this. Scripture even says, and my God shall supply all of your need. According to his riches and glory. According to does not mean out of. If I said, I'm going to give you some money out of what I have, and I gave you $5 and I'm a millionaire, I didn't lie to you. I didn't lie to you. Don't be mad at me. I said, I'm going to give you something out of what I got. You count my coins. You know what I got. And I give you $5 out of what I had. I didn't lie to you. If I said I'm going to give it to you according to, that means everything that I have that's mine is yours. Come on. My God shall supply your needs according to. Do you hear that? Not out of. Oh, I haven't even started yet tonight. That means not out of what he has. He got a cattle on 1,000 hills. He only gave you one. No. I mean, everything that he's got is yours. You better know who you connected to. Come on. You're praying prayers that are too small. I need you to increase the size of your prayers. I need you to increase the size of your faith. We expect people to give according to when they can only give you out of, and we expect God to give us out of when we know he can give us according to, and we don't even realize it that he can give us according to. Ooh. So you got need, you got needy, and then you also have needed. That would be my subtitle. His needs, her needs. I'm not needy, I'm needed. Right? Because needed speaks to the fact that I'm necessary. Needed speaks to the fact that I'm desired. Needed speaks to the fact that you are important. Needed speaks to the fact that you fill in the gap. Your purpose partner, your solution, right? To be needed means that you are a resource. that you can't quantify in dollars, right? Your value exceed your value, you're priceless, far above rubies. None of us is indispensable, but some of us are irreplaceable. Somebody who is needed is irreplaceable. As we were talking yesterday, when we talked about his needs, her needs, I mentioned 5 needs for each gender, particularly women, as we mentioned first. And the fact that, women are from Mars, men are from Venus. is what the book suggests. You're not understanding me. I'm not understanding you. I'm not speaking your language. You're not speaking mine. And the reason those things happen is because we don't dwell according to knowledge. So as a result, rather than being a teammate, we end up with an opponent. Rather than being a teammate to somebody, we now oppose somebody. The person you're in a relationship with should not be an op. Opposites attract, but you shouldn't be an opponent that makes me have a setback. Right? We have to understand this. Yes, we are different, but being different does not mean we are deficient. I cannot dwell with you if I don't have any knowledge of you. And I told you yesterday, a lot of times what we are doing as a detriment, as a mistake, knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously, by omission or commission, right? What we are doing is that we are loving people the way that we want to love them. We are loving people the way that we think they need to be loved versus loving people the way they need to be loved. And the only way you know the way somebody needs to be loved is, hear me, is if they can communicate to you how they need to be loved. The tragedy is trying to love somebody the way they need to be loved, and they don't even know the way they need to be loved. Now we're at a stalemate. Now we're at a fork in the road. Now we're stuck like Chuck in a pickup truck. Are you hearing me? Right? So got to be able to find out and ask certain questions to people. What does love look like to you? Finding out how people were raised. Some people only grew up on survival. So they're only in relationships that reflect the survival mode that they grew up in. So if it doesn't have toxicity, it doesn't have triggers, they can't embrace it. Because anybody who actually came at them the right way initially, it always left them feeling broken. So now they don't trust anybody who has any green flags. They avoid green flags. They stopping on green flags, stopping on green lights, running red ones. Because to a certain degree, we have become so numb to pain that now it hurts to be happy. Are you hearing me? So now we succumb to gaslighting. Now we succumb to narcissistic abuse. Now, in many cases, because it has been exacted upon us, now we exact it upon other people. Hurting people hurt people, heal people, heal people. A lot of times now, because we're hurting, now we're bleeding on people who didn't even cut us. We're sitting across the table at the date with eyes of suspicion. Yeah, because I know this person I'm sitting next to is literally a transformer. I'm waiting for you to change. Mm-hmm. I'm looking for you. Yep. Let me see the real you in here. Mm-hmm. I know you're smelling good, but your attitude ain't that great. Come on. I'll wait you out. Come on. You seen it all. Seen it all. And as a result, differences don't mean deficiencies. It ought to mean a place to where I can now complement the other individual, the other person. His needs, her needs. Too many times we only focus on our needs. Yeah. Selfish, but not selfless. Remember, I told you, relationships are the service business. If serving is below you, being in a relationship or being married is beyond you. If you don't come to serve, I need to swerve. Let me do this U-turn right quick. We this ain't the right road. Hmm? Let me make a left because you ain't right. All right, y'all holding out on me. Y'all holding out on me. And I told you, when it's only one-sided, it's not gonna be a side at all. It's gonna disintegrate. Can't just be happy wife, happy life. Can't just be one-sided. It's got to be happy spouse, happy house. Hear me. If only one person's happy, none of y'all gonna be happy. If only he's happy, you ain't gonna be happy. If only she's happy, he's not gonna be happy. How do you all add to each other's happiness? I didn't say that you have to be the total sum of their happiness. They should come with a level of happiness on their own, and all you do is you add to it. You complement it. You supplement it. Oh, it's quiet in here now. Come on, if you can't say amen, say ouch. Matter of fact, maybe you need to say both, amen and ouch. I'm stepping on. I came to step on all toes tonight, but I guarantee you I'll pray for every nub and piggly wiggly before we get out of these digital doors. This little piggy went to the market. This little pig. I remember that little nursery rhyme. So yesterday we mentioned we just playing a little catch up. Catch up mustard. We're just playing a little catch up. Listen, I had a long week. I got to laugh tonight. I got to laugh. Long week don't mean it's a bad week. Long week means it's been a laborious week. I got to laugh. I know labor's gonna eventually bring favor. Primary needs of a woman, we mentioned. We mentioned affection. You didn't see what I said yesterday about unconditional love versus conditional love. Go back. I'm not gonna even recite it. I don't even know if I can say it the same way I said it yesterday. I'm not gonna even try to remix what I said. Go and watch part 1 because you need to hear what I said about conditional love versus unconditional love. I had to make it make sense. Go and check that out. But affection. Woman wants to be loved. A woman wants to feel loved. Whether it's in the compliments, whether it's in words of expression, whether it is a Stevie Wonder song that you remix, I just called to say I love you. She will never tire of hearing it. You hear me? Right? Heard somebody say, if you only just wait until a holiday, as we just were on Valentine's Day, to show love to your significant other, you messing up on the other 364 days. Since the leap year, it's 366 this year. You messing up on the other 365. Ladies, do you ever get tired of hearing that you know that you love, that you value, that you look good, that you smell good, that you all that in a bag of Bibles, that you all that in the skirt and scriptures? Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I am, so that the brothers can get the memo and the message. Number two, communication and conversation. Women have a knack for communicating. She wants to be heard. She wants to hear too. It's emotional intimacy, right? It's emotional connectivity. We mentioned that. Number three, we mentioned spiritual connection. She understands her source. If you haven't seen the traits of a kingdom woman, go back and check that out. We talked about faith. We talked about foundation. Talked about favor. Go and check that out. Spiritual connection. She is solid in her faith. Number four, affirmation. She wants to be affirmed. She wants to be encouraged, whether it is a just because, that which is not so mundane, but it gives some spontaneity, encouragement. Number five, we mentioned companionship, right? Companionship is connected to heart communication. It's connected to special time away. It's connected to growing young together. It's connected to laughing and learning, loving and living beyond what it is that you both experience. Not saying that even in the midst of all these needs doesn't mean that there won't be any friction. So that's needed and necessary. Definitely needed and necessary. Listen, come on, like, comment, share, and subscribe. We're getting ready to get into it tonight. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Some of y'all are watching. Some of y'all can put this on your TV. Put me on the big screen. Put me on the big screen, and I promise I won't scream. Come on, like, comment, share, subscribe, particularly, especially on the YouTube side. Come on, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok. Let's not stop. Invite somebody into the conversation. Like, hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe. We mentioned yesterday a man's needs. They go beyond just sex, silence, sandwich, and an ego stroke, despite what society says. Man's needs are affirmation. One of them is affirmation. I'm sorry, admiration. Admiration. He wants to be admired. Wants to be admired. That admiration looks like respect. Speaking to the champion that's on the inside of him, encouraging him. Secondly was recreation. Us as men, we always find a particular source of recreation, whether it's in the gym, whether it's watching sports, whether it's playing sports, whatever the case may be. But he also wants recreational companionship, for you to take an interest in what he is interested in. That becomes a portal for him to be vulnerable, for him to express himself, for you to learn a little bit more about him that you may not have known, simply by taking an invested interest in him. I'm not saying for you to show up on a date in his favorite team's paraphernalia, clad from head to toe, rocking all Lions gear. I'm not saying you got to go that far. Just taking a little bit of interest in what he's interested in. Personal expansion. Personal expansion means space. Giving a man a little bit of room to breathe. Giving him space, because in that space, he's able to plan it. In that space, he's able to strategize. In that space, he's able to organize. He's able to mobilize. He's able to put the pieces of his life together. If men did not need space, he wouldn't have a man cave in his house. And even if he doesn't have a man cave, there's still some aspects to where he needs space. But I believe so. You do too. Even being the woman in his life. That's why you both should have things going on to where you're working on certain things. He's working on certain things as well. Spiritual connection. Whether man admits it or not, he has a desire to connect to something greater than just beyond himself. That's got to be his personal connection. That's got to be his relationship with God. Head of the wife is the husband, but the husband also has to submit as well. Husband has to know who his head is, and that is God. Woman cannot follow a man if she senses and if he recognizes well that he don't even know where he's going. Right? Seems like if one person is blind and they fall into the ditch, why would the second person? Hmm? Second person fall into the ditch as well because they're so interconnected to that first individual that in many cases they didn't course correct. But I guarantee you, a woman ain't gonna go. She gonna find a way. Sight of the eyes or not. Sight of the eyes or not. She gonna find a way to not go into that ditch. Guarantee you. So being able to pray with him, being able to pray for him, being able to be a help meet one toward another. So as we're looking at his needs, her needs, notice that everything that I mentioned about a man, I never said anything about love. Because as I said before, it's not that men don't need love, it's that we emphasize and we really categorize love as respect. Us, respect is love. Love is respect. Differences don't mean that either of us is deficient. We just have to learn each other's love language. His needs, her needs. Let's get into part two. Come on, somebody just type part two tonight. Type part two. Type part two. Type part two. Yes, if you don't have the books, any of my books, I got 16 books out there. Go ahead and get the book. Relationship Rules, How to Win at Love, Leadership, Leveraging Your Purpose. You got Dear Queen Volume 1, Dear Queen Volume 2. You need to go ahead and get those. Not just a great read for our sisters, but also a great read for the men who love our women. Wife, Wisely Inspired, Faithfully Empowered. A lot of people think that this book is just about what a woman should do to become a wife. No, it's also how men should prepare for their wife. You see that? Because a lot of times we're preparing women for unprepared men. And we got to even out the scale. We can't make it so top heavy to where what a woman has to do to receive and get a husband or become a wife, but what men need to also do to prepare. Because really, who's teaching our men or boys to become men or men to actually move into that role? Listen, y'all, I've been giving you more keys than Alicia Keys. I've been giving you more keys than piano keys. Come, somebody just drop some piano keys. Put a piano key emoji on here, please. Please. I think I've been giving y'all some good wisdom. That's not bent toward one particular gender and it crucifies the other one. No, we're not beating the man up. We're not beating the women up. We lifting each other up. Why? Because we need each other. Come on now. We need each other. We can course correct whatever needs to be course corrected. We can do it in love and tell the truth at the same time. Let's go. You got to remember that your life is a magnet. What are you doing to become the type of person that you seek to attract? Let me say it twice because it's also nice. Your life is a magnet. Am I repelling the negative or am I repelling the positive? Am I attracting the negative or am I attracting the positive? My life is a magnet. What am I doing to become the type of person that I seek to attract? Here's what we got to do. We got to make sure that we put some social distance between ourselves and people who stunt our growth. Come on, Rachel G. I'm trying to let it be. Brianna Moore, trying to give them more. Pastor Herman Love, you know we need more of your last name, which is love. We go all the way back. Pastor Herman Love, New St. Paul, great preacher, great person. So we have to put some social distance between ourselves and those who are stunting our growth, right? Because here's the thing: you won't get a breakthrough until you break away. You won't get a breakthrough until you break away from people who are trying to stunt your growth. And here's the thing: when we talk about his needs, her needs, what lens of love are we looking through? Right? Because a lot of times we got one particular lens covered. We just looking through our particular lens just to look at what we want. Come on. Your vision is specifically skewed because you're only thinking about your own needs. Sometimes could it possibly be that the way that you get your needs met is by meeting the needs of somebody else? Wait. I think I heard someplace somewhere in scripture that is more blessed to give than it is to receive. Why is that? Because when I give, I've already received. A lot of times we think you have to receive back in money, you have to receive back in cars, you have to receive back in clothes, you have to receive back in trips. Come on, somebody. Could it possibly that you receive getting all of your needs met by meeting somebody else's needs? Hmm? Because here it is. When I'm able to meet other people's needs, this is what it communicates. I'm not needy, I'm needed. Somebody just typed that. I'm not needy, I'm needed. Yeah. I was reading a book today. We're reading this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, in our Eagles Academy community. And one thing is this: the author Robert Kiyosaki said, too many times you stop your mind from working when you say, because he's talking about assets versus liabilities, he's talking about financial literacy. You stop your mind from working when you keep saying, I can't afford it. Yeah. You stop your mind from working when you say, I can't afford this, I can't afford that, can't do this, and you can't do that, can't do this, and you can't do that. When you say I can't afford it, he said we got to switch our mindset to say, how can I afford it? Mm. How can I put my job out of business by hiring myself? How can I afford this particular aspect that I need or that I desire to have or that I want? And guess what? Now you start getting your mind working. Now you start itemizing. Now you start listing. Now you start thinking about your gifts. Now you start thinking about your particular purpose. Now you start thinking about revenue generating ideas. Come on now. Hesitation keeps you in the same situation. Here it is. It's not that you can't afford it. You can't afford not to have it. The big thought, the big idea, the new opportunity, the aspect, the purpose, the provision that is at the end of the rope of the purpose. By the way, since I just mentioned the Eagles Academy community, go ahead and join the Eagles Academy community. Go to theeaglesacademy.com, become a member, increase your ideas, your impact, your influence, gets the solutions, the strategies, the structure, the systems for transformation in your business, for transformation in your relationships. I only go to a certain level here, but I go all the way there. Where are my Eagles at? Eagles, just drop some emoji Eagles in the chat. What lens of love are you looking through? Can't be focused on what I don't have. Got to be focused on who I am. Am I only seeing love through your lens and I'm not looking through their particular lens? Am I only seeing love through my particular lens, but I'm not even taking the chance, not even taking the opportunity to be able to try on your glasses? I want to see what you see. Hmm? I want to see what type of vision that you have. I want to hear what type of aspirations that you have for yourself, right? Because needy means I lack, needed means I fill in the gap. I got to love you the way that you need to be loved. I got my life. Here it is. I have my life. You have yours. We have one together. That's why space is so needed, is so necessary, is so important, right? Space is so needed and so necessary and so important because I wasn't raised to be with you. You weren't raised to be with me. I met you at a particular portion and particular place in my life. You met me at a particular portion, particular place, particular intersection in my life. I have history. You have history. I have a past. You have a past. Finding out what your needs are, what my needs are, lets me know, do we have a future together? Come on. Do we have one particularly together? Because here's the thing, you don't have the grace for everybody, and everybody don't have the grace for you. Some people cannot handle the demand on your life. Some people cannot handle the anointing on your life. Some people cannot handle what comes with the stress that is on your life to where you make it look so easy to other people. Hmm? You don't own me, and I don't want to own you. Hello? Here's the thing. You don't own the person who you're with. You don't own me. I don't own you. I don't want to own you. If anything, I ought to want to collaborate, connect, and involve my life with yours. Here's the thing, God never gives you anybody that is a gift to your life for you to own them. Hear me. Earth is the Lord's, the fullness thereof, everything, and they that dwell therein. Whatever God gave you, you don't own it. Is not own, is loan. Naked you came into the world, naked you're going to leave. Everything that you have in between the two nakednesses, the dash in between, the birth date, the death date, is a loan. It's on loan because you don't own anything, right? And that's why jealousy doesn't even make sense, because a lot of times we're jealous of people's gifts. We're jealous of what people have, that even if that person died, you still couldn't get the gift. Come on. Assassinating them with your words, using your tongue as a gun, still won't give you the gift. So rather than being jealous, what we should be is zealous. Yeah, I'm not jealous. I'm zealous about what it is that I have, about who it is that I am. And here's the thing, when you focus more on your business, when you focus on more on your space, when you focus more on your love and your purpose, you're going to be too busy to worry about what other folks are doing, to try to compete with other people. Hmm? You don't own the person that God gave you. He loaned them to you. And that's why, hear me, if you don't have anything to work on, you will find yourself working on their nerves. Y'all don't want to have this conversation tonight. Hmm? You trying to make demands on somebody who's in demand. But what are you doing to be in demand as well with your purpose? How are you executing? How are you cultivating your craft? How are you being an expert in your field of expertise? Come on. How are you doing that? Because here's the thing, if the person who you're with is taking time for themselves to cultivate their craft, to take a little place of space, to create, you got to do more than just wait until their time is freed up. No, 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 no. What are you doing to cultivate yours as well, my brother? What are you doing to cultivate yours as well, my sister from another mister, my brother from another mother? Because here's the thing, if you don't have anything to work on, the thing that you will work on is their nerves. Oftentimes, people only date for an outing, but not an outcome. And here's the thing: if you're just working on somebody's nerves, you're not really in a relationship. You're just a record keeper. What does 1 Corinthians chapter 13 says? Love is patient, love is kind. Love does not keep a record of wrongs. Oh yeah, you just nothing but a stenographer in their relationship. They didn't call me. They called me at 5:02, and they told me they were going to call me at 5 o'clock. It doesn't take them 10 minutes to get from this particular location, that location. Who were they talking to? Who were they with? What were they doing? They're really not taking any time for space to work on their craft. They wanted to go out on a date with somebody. Hmm. And here it is. Insecurity will always be a killer of relationships because you want to put a low jack on somebody, because you want to be the CIA, because you want to try to investigate every single specific thing that they do. Why? Because oftentimes what we're dealing with abandonment issues. Yeah. Certain people in your life abandoned you, and now you are on the defense, believing that this person in your life is going to abandon you too. If you think they're going to abandon you too, why even go into the relationship? If you haven't healed from the abandonment issues, if you haven't healed from the places of insecurity, why crush the relationship simply because you're dealing with your abandonment issues? Hmm? Person over here trying to figure out what in the world, how in the world did you put these particular math equations together to get that? This plus that don't even equal that. Hmm? Because here it is, your abandonment issues will cause that particular person, he or she, to abandon you. Because here's the thing, you're pushing them away. You push people away when you find a problem for every solution. You push them away when, yes, maybe you don't always see eye to eye, but you're having a disagreement that always makes you disagreeable. Just because he or she is in need of space doesn't mean that they're cheating on you because the last one did. Oh, come on. Or because maybe you did to the last person. Yeah. Sometimes we're not the victim, sometimes we're the perpetrator. Right? And here's the thing, a lot of times what we're doing subconsciously is that we blame someone for what we're doing. We're blaming somebody and we think somebody's going to take it physically for what we do emotionally. Yeah. Betrayal is not always physical. Sometimes betrayal is emotional. Are you blaming him? Are you blaming her for what you're doing? Are you gaslighting them for what you did? Nobody wants to talk to me tonight. Come on. Guilt shows up in more ways than just having your hand caught in the cookie jar. Come on. Sometimes guilt is expressed when, in many cases, the action is conceived, but it hasn't always been delivered. Yeah. When it has been germinated, but it hasn't been delivered yet. We have to check ourselves before we wreck our relationships. Healing looks good on you. Somebody just type healing. Because here's the thing, if I'm not healing, I'm damaging. If I'm not, somebody type healing tonight. If I'm not healing, I'm damaging. I'm damaging myself. I'm damaging who loves me. I'm damaging my associations. I'm damaging my connections. I'm damaging my relationships. I'm damaging what possibly could come of what I would experience if I was healed. I'm attracting more damage than what is healing because I'm still in a place to where I feel damaged. Delivered but damaged. You're out of the relationship, but you still got some war wounds. Come on. You got into the accident, God forbid, but you're looking at the wreckage of what happened to the vehicle. It's still drivable, but it's got to be serviceable. Why? Because it's an eyesore. Come on now. You got a sheet over the window because you got into the accident and the windows busted out of the car. Tire got a flat. Rear damage. Why? Because here it is. In relationships, sometimes it's like crash dummies. We always say, yeah, we crash into a dummy, but it takes one to get one. Can't say, well, person fooled me. It only take you can only get fooled by a fool. You got to be fooled to be a fool. So we have to think about certain things because a lot of times we're blaming people for what we have done. We blame people for what we think we're going to do, and we're gaslighting somebody. Everybody does not have bad intentions. I got to make sure that I'm in a place of healing or I'm damaging myself and anybody else who loves me or is a potential suitable fit purpose partner for me. Here's some questions that we got to ask and that we actually have to answer. Why do you even want to be in a relationship, much less a marriage? Why do you want to get married? Why do you want to be in a relationship? Are you starting this relationship just because you're impatient? Are you starting this relationship just because you want to be with somebody? Or you need to be with somebody? Are you starting this relationship simply because you see everybody else in a relationship? Every single time you turn on the TV, it's a couple's connection. Every single time you go outside, it's couples. Every single time that you open up your timeline, whether good, bad, otherwise, divorced, together, celebrating an anniversary, whatever the case may be, it's couple central, right? Because here's the thing, whatever we do prematurely, sometimes we're reaping the consequences of it indefinitely. See, when you just do things so prematurely, this is what you do. You now give birth to an Ishmael and not an Isaac. Come on. Sarah wanted to have a child, but the deadness of Sarah's womb, right? Abraham was way too old. Sarah's way too old. Sarah even asked the question, shall I find pleasure in my old age? Matter of fact, Abram, just go ahead and take my handmaid. She's young. She's vibrant. And guess what? He heeded quickly to that. Sure. You ain't got to tell me twice. Young whippersnapper. Hey, facts. Say less. Birthed in Ishmael. Ishmael, Isaac. In many cases, we could say, yes, that is the reason for the negativity in the Middle East, even from back then. Sometimes what you do prematurely has effects indefinitely. Right? Ishmael, I birthed that, not Isaac. Ishmael's premature. Isaac is promise. Am I willing to wait for the promise or will I settle for what's premature? Do I want somebody now? Just as for the sake of having somebody now? Do I want Miss Right, Mrs. Right? Do you want Mr. Right or Mr. Right now? Come on. A lot of times what we're trying to do is we're trying to make what's premature purpose driven. Ishmael is a product of impatience. Isaac is a product of purpose. And here's the thing. Do you have a sense that God wants to bring this particular person in your life as part of his plan or part of your plan? Right? Because here's the thing. We got to get to the place God ain't in it. I don't want to be either. Is this a good idea or is this a God idea? Whatever I generally rush, I probably will ruin. Is this a product of premature or is this a purpose driven plan? Secondly, does who it is that I'm entertaining or who I'm interested in, who I'm in a relationship with, who I'm connected to, does this person connect to promise and purpose? Does this connection produce isolation or does it produce spiritual connection? Right? Because a lot of times manipulation leads to isolation. Is this person preventing you from being all that you can possibly be? Is this person trying to gaslight you out of your particular purpose? It don't take all that. Does this person only get excited for you when they have something to do with it? Is this person trying to stop you from being all that you can possibly be, from your connection, your relationship to God? If so, none of it will ever be good. Because here's the thing, when you talk about premature versus purpose, when you talk about Ishmael versus Isaac, when you talk about impatience, product of impatience versus a product of purpose, you got to realize this. When we're talking about needy versus needed, Ishmael is needy. Isaac is needed. Hmm? That which is premature is needy. I'm doing something permanent in a temporary situation. Generally with a temporary person, which leaves permanent scars. Do you hear what I'm saying? Doing something permanent with a temporary person. Yeah. Which ultimately leaves permanent scars. To where now trying to find wisdom from your wounds. Isolation, oftentimes a result of manipulation. Ishmael is needy. Isaac is needed. What type of partner do you have? What kind of person did you choose? Remember, I told you, you're ready to date when it's not a need, it's a choice. Because here it is. Choice says I'm not needy. Choice says I'm needed. Needy, I lack. Needy, I'm choosing out of desperation. I'm choosing out of a hole, a void that I believe somebody can fill in my life. I'm choosing simply because of an insufficiency and a personal deficiency that I believe somebody's going to complete me, but only God does that. I don't need you to complete me. I need you to complement what I already have going on. Help me compliments. You're not my source. You are a resource. At least you should be. Because here's the thing, none of us are perfect, but all of us should be genuine. And one thing that we have to realize is this, that God will never bring anyone into your life that divides you from your destiny, that subtracts you from your success, but they'll add to your anointing. They'll multiply your mission. They're going to either add to or multiply the purpose that God gave you. And here's the thing, if they're trying to be a detractor, if they're trying to divide you from your destiny, then what you got to do is you got to do some simple math and subtract them from your life. Come on. What did Genesis chapter 1, verse 28? It reminds us this, be fruitful and multiply. That is more than just about children. That's more than just about a seed in a womb. That speaks to purpose-driven life. That speaks to one can chase 1,000, two can put 10,000 a flight. Hmm? One can operate on his own specifically, but adding the other is another 9,000 plus type of addition to my life. Every person in your life should be able to do one equation, and that is, hear me, multiply your life. Too many times, here it is, we are not fruitful and multiplied. We are fruitless because we're barren and subtracted, barren and divided. How many connections have you had? It don't even have to be intimate. It can be platonic. It can be business related. You were not fruitful and you never multiplied with them. You were fruitless. You were barren and you were subtracted. You were barren and you were divided. Hmm? And hear me. You will be able to see if somebody can be fruitful and multiply in your life if they're fruitful and multiply in their own life. If you can't do it in your life, what makes me think that you're going to be able to do it in my life too? Hmm? Somebody talk to me tonight. Your lifestyle is a resume. It's a CV. It's a vita of what I could possibly expect if you're in my life. I'm a movement by myself. I ought to be a fruitful force when we're together. If you're making me better, that means you're multiplying me. You're adding to me. You understand that a win for you is a win for me too. You're not operating the spirit of competition. You're operating the spirit of collaboration. Right? And here it is. When I'm connected to the right person, there is an increase with intentionality. They intentionally come into my life to increase me. Why? Because they can only increase based upon the need that they see that they can add to. I can't increase what I don't know the need for. Come on. Oh my goodness. Hear me. I have to know your need to be able to increase it. Whenever I'm going to speak at an event, and I've been speaking for the last 3 days at 3 different particular schools, National African American Parent Involvement Day, what I ask them is, what is the theme? I ask them, what are the needs of your parents? What are the needs of the children? What are the needs for your school? What would you like to have improved? What are the pain points? Right? Because we can't see an increase. We can't call this particular meeting, this particular power encounter, this particular educational empowerment connection fruitful if I don't know the need and I'm able to speak to the need to be a solution to the problem. Somebody who comes into your life wants to increase with intentionality. They want to get to know the need. Why? Because they're not needy to where they lack. They're needed to where they fill in the gap. Come on. Wrong people subtract. Wrong people divide from your greatness. The right people, the right person will add to you and multiply you. They're not envious of you. They're not jealous of you. They're zealous. They're not jealous. They're zealous. They don't see it that you're getting ahead of them. They want you to go. They want you to grow. They want you to soar. They want you to level up. They want you to build. They want you to be fulfilled. Why? Because here it is. Every man wants a woman whose presence says, I'm not needy, I'm needed. Yeah, sisters do too. Every woman wants a man whose presence says, I'm not needy, I'm needed. Because generally, when you're needy, whether consciously or subconsciously, you become a leech. You become somebody who siphons and pulls away from that particular individual's purpose. You make more withdrawals than you do deposits. What a woman wants in a man, she wants to be able to say, he can lead me and I don't have to lead him. A man wants to be able to say, I can lead her and I don't have to drag her. Yeah. She'll allow me to lead because she recognizes that I know where I'm going. One thing I realize and recognize this, a woman's submission to you is based upon executing the vision that God gave you. You become a trusted man. You become a trusted vessel. You become a trusted individual when leadership is expressed in your own life. Yeah. Submission does not mean you're subservient. Submission, sis, does not mean slavery. It just particularly means that we are in a union that complements one another. We are purpose partners working toward the same mission. And here's the thing, far too often, we only focus on what we can do for ourselves and not what we can do for somebody else. We only focus on what somebody can do for us. We don't focus on what we can do for somebody else. JFK said this, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Ask not what your relationship can do for you, ask what you can do to improve the relationship. I know a great couple. They've only been married 4 years. They've only been married 4 years. But talking to him and talking to her, they feel as if it's been just a blissful relationship. Have 2 beautiful children now. They say whenever they have disagreements, this is what they do. They don't yell and scream and try to talk when each other's trying to talk. They actually put it on a timer. They take a timer out. Listen, this may sound crazy to you, but this is what they do. Whenever they have a disagreement and they feel like one side is not hearing them, because here it is, there will be disagreements in relationships and marriage. 2 becoming 1 is friction. I wasn't raised to be with you. You weren't raised to be with me. So this is what they do. They set a timer, and they set the timer at 2 minutes. He allows her to talk 2 minutes uninterrupted, whether he agrees with her or not. He got to zip his lip. Ain't no crossing your arms. You can't be, rolling your eyes and turning your head and smacking your lips, cutting your teeth. None of that. I generally want to hear where you're coming from. He allows her 2 minutes to express herself. After her time is up, she don't say, and another thing. Your time is up. But when she's communicating to him, she's not communicating in an abrasive way, because communication is a love language. What picture are you painting when you're communicating? She communicates for 2 minutes uninterrupted, and now it's his turn to communicate in the same type of way, not raising your voice, splashing some honeys in there, splashing some sweethearts in there, sprinkling some babies in there. Come on, seasoning the conversation with salt. You always catch more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. Add a little sugar to it. More salt and pepper. So he communicates that. He allows her to communicate there. And as a result, they come to a consensus without being argumentative. There were some disagreements in there, but they decided not to be disagreeable. Do you know what he told me just in talking to him one-on-one one day? He says questions that he asked his wife every day. He asked her the same questions each and every single day. Sweetheart, honey, is what he says. How can I serve you today? Is his first question. You didn't believe me when I told you relationships and marriage is a service business. So here it is. Hear it from somebody who's currently married. And he says, as this currently married man says to his wife each and every single day, honey, sweetheart, how can I serve you? Remember, I told you, if serving is below you, marriage, relationships is beyond you. He says, how can I serve you? What do you need? How can I make today's relationship, much less marriage, better? How can I make you feel valued today? Come on now. It's hard to argue when somebody is meeting your needs in that specific aspect. It's hard to argue when somebody is making a choice to choose you daily. That's what marriage and relationships is about. I'm making a choice to choose you. There's a lot of choices out there, but just because there's quantity does not mean it's quality. I'm making the choice and the decision to choose you today. And guess what? How she answers those questions lets him know how he can meet her love need. Her answers are letting him know how she needs to be loved today. Because hear me, how she may need to be loved on Friday may be different than how she may need to be loved on Monday. Woo! Oh, well, you just told me that's how you need to be loved on Friday. Now you changed up. People will change. Jesus Christ the same yesterday, today, and forever. Okay, listen, you want to be in a relationship with somebody who don't change? Keep your relationship with Jesus. Don't expect him to date you though. God don't cater to your physical needs. It's a spiritual connection. Jesus is not your Valentine. Jesus is not your sweetest day, sweetheart. Come on. I connect to God through my spirit, and I connect to you through my senses. Taste, touch, smell, hearing, sight. I got to have some vision to see beyond what I see, and I got to get clarity. I got to dwell according to knowledge. Scripture says, and Adam knew his wife Eve, and Adam knew Eve. He went to the University of Eveology. That's more than just a physical, intimate connection. He had to get to know her. Jesus ain't your wife, bruh. Sis, Jesus ain't your husband. If you believe that he can keep you, I'll go along with it. But if you believe he's going to get into the bed at night and hold you, I suggest you take your medicine. Hmm? So here's the thing. If I'm going to be in a relationship and a marriage with another human being, I got to understand that they're going to change. How you marry them in year one is not the same way that they will be in year three. Only person who's not changing is Jesus. We are. Desires change, appetite changes, needs change, your wants change. Am I talking to somebody tonight or am I talking to robots? Am I talking to folks who AI? Is this iRobot tonight? Am I talking to people who live their life on autopilot? Or am I talking to real human beings? Just because your needs change doesn't mean that you're a bad person. You just need the right person who will understand your needs and try to give you what you need. Come on. So he's asking her particular questions. How can I meet your need today? What is that you need? How can I make you feel valued? How can I improve our relationship? The relationship is great, but how can we improve it even more? So guess what? They go to couples counseling. They go to couples retreats. They go to seminars. Even if the relationship is on a 10 out of 10, they still want to improve it. They want to see the blind spots. Come on. Before you ever merge over into a lane, you need to make sure that you check in the rear view mirror. You need to make sure that you check in the sides of the mirror. Sometimes you might need to just, do a little quick check over your neck. Just look over your shoulders, honey. Jackson 5, I'll be there. Right? Because what if you're trying to merge into a different lane in your life? You ready to go, but the person you're with is not. Uh-oh. Come on. I got to be able to check all sides. I have to check in with who I need to check on if we're going to do this thing together. Too many times we're focusing on what somebody can do for us versus focusing on what we can do for somebody. But here's another thing: what we do with somebody? There's a lot of things that you can do for somebody that you can't do with them. Mm, come on now. There's a lot of things that you can do for people that you cannot do with people. For you to do stuff with me, you got to be able to go with me. You got to be able to grow with me. Hmm? Listen, you can feed your baby. You can feed your 2-year-old, but you can't take the 2-year-old into the board meeting. You need somebody to look out for the child for the next 30 minutes, for the next 45 minutes, for the next hour. I love you, but right now I got to leave you to somebody else. Don't mean you're a bad person. I can do certain things for you, but I can't do this with you right now. Right? Being able to do things with somebody is a state of maturity, a state of development, a state of emotional intelligence, a state of relational intelligence, a state of emotional maturity, a state of accountability, a state of knowing your identity, a state of being able to discover and know your needs. Help me, somebody, tonight. Come on. State of development. And here's the thing: the best angle of approach is not what can you do for me or what can I do for you, but what can you do with me? Here's the thing: even God operates like that. God doesn't just do things for you. Greatest thing he did for you was dying for you, rising for you. What he does is that he does things with you and through you because he empowers you to do it. The right relationship will empower you to be who you're supposed to be. Mm. But here's the thing: we're so caught up on looks, we're so caught up on clout, we're so caught up on attractability that we decide to avoid it at the expense of knowing somebody's identity. Somebody said, Ruby said, caught up like Usher. And then somebody saying, I'm looking like Usher. I'm just trying to usher you into your purpose tonight. That's all I'm trying to do. These are my confessions. I'm trying to cause you to access your divine possession. The best angle of approach for a relationship and a marriage is, what can you do with me? Can you communicate with me? Can you pray with me? Can you grow with me? Can you build with me? Hmm? Come on. Can you empower me? I had to pause right here. Wasn't trying to get to part 3, but this just might deserve a part 3. Because here's the thing: when you recognize what you can do with somebody, hear me, being able to do things with somebody communicates the fact that I'm needed. Do you understand that everything is going back to what I'm saying about his needs, her needs? Because so many times we focus on wants, desires. But what are the basic essential things that I need that I have now put at the expense of what I want. And here's the thing, that even what you want doesn't satisfy you, because what you want doesn't even speak to or even solve the issue of what you need. I'm grateful you give me everything that I want. Thank you for the bag. Thank you for the birthday gift. Thank you for the trip. But all of that doesn't even get to the place of what it is that I need. I need consistency, not inconsistency. But you're consistently inconsistent. And I need you to be consistent. That's what I need. It's a love language that doesn't go into what Gary Chapman's book talks about. I have other love languages outside of just a book. I want a consistency. I want a safety. I want a security. I want to be able to be vulnerable with when I tell you what I've gone through, when I tell you what it is that I need and what it is that I want and what it is that I desire. And some of the frailties and some of the missteps and some of the mistakes that I've made, you don't tell what I've done to other people, and then you don't hit me over the head with it where now we have friction or an issue. I shouldn't have to be less of who I am to be with you. Hear me. Beyond what you can do for me, beyond what can I do for you, the question is, what can I do with you? And the reason many relationships, much less marriages, dissolved, a dissolution, no resolution, is because here it is. You realize you couldn't do certain things with the person that you said I do to. Because you said I do with the intention that I'd be able to do things with you. Now you can't, now you have to say I don't, because you realize you couldn't do things with that person at the end of the day. I don't know. Should we do a part 3 on this? I don't know. Should we do a part 3 with this? Have mercy. I don't know. Should we continue his needs, her needs? If we should continue part 3, somebody just write 3 in the chat. Write part 3. Write 3. Write part 3. Listen, I've got more truth than I have time. As many of you know, especially those of you who have been resilient to stick and stay with us over and over and over and over and over again. Definitely get the book. Relationship Rules. How to Win at Love, Leadership, Leveraging Your Purpose. I don't just write books haphazardly. I do it intentionally. Wife, Wisely Inspired, Faithfully Empowered. Not just a book for women, but a book for men who love our women and how to actually be what they need, supply what they need, add to what they need, becoming the right husband with the right wife. Unwrap the gift in you. Tragedies be gifted, but to never open the package. The Apostle Paul said, stir up the gift. Knowing that your gift will make room for you, bring you before great men is what Proverbs says. But Pablo Picasso said the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give your gift away. Not for you to hold on to, it's for you to unwrap it and use it and bless somebody with it. The Mask of Masculinity, How Men Can Reclaim Their Identity, Lead in Love of Vulnerability. Book for our brothers. Speaks to our issues. but also the women who love us. You want to learn how to provide a safe space and place for a man to be able to be vulnerable with you? How for him to find ways for him to open up to you? Get that book. So glad that I'm on a magazine with my mother and my brother. Just debuted yesterday. So great content to where you're able to learn a little bit more about us and my family. And of course, the queen is the lady in the middle. Mama's a general. Mama don't play no games. When it comes to raising us, and then also when it comes to dressing. Fashionista for sure. Listen, it's time to maximize your mindset. I don't know. Did anybody get anything from this tonight? Anybody get anything from this tonight? Did anybody get anything from this tonight? Time to maximize your mindset. Time to sharpen your skill set. Time to build your tool set. Really be an asset in any and every specific aspect in every environment. Where are my eagles at? Where are my eagles? Just drop some eagle emojis tonight. I want you to go ahead and join the Eagles Academy. Every single time that we go live, especially doing the In the Mix at 6, it's always tactful and it's always impactful. Just imagine how much more it will be for you when you're part of our Eagles Academy community. You're part of our sessions that give transformation. You're part of not just getting the information, but the steps on how to move into a place of application. Then you're experiencing transformation that hits your head, that hits your heart, that hits your home, that hits your goals, that hits your mind, your will, your emotions, your soul, your business, your relationships. Everything that you're connected to now gets better because you got better. Come on. Yeah. Trying to put you in a better place to where, here it is, everything around you gets better because you get better. Come on. How do we do that? By increasing your ideas, your impact, your influence. As a result, it increases your income. A lot of us, we want to increase our income, but we don't want to increase our ideas. We don't want to increase our impact. We don't want to increase our influence. Income is a byproduct of increasing all of those specific ancillary aspects. We do that through strategies, structure, solutions, systems. Listen, what gets measured gets done. What gets rewarded gets repeated. Come on. You want to move to a higher place to where you're not just surviving, but you're thriving, transforming, improving, developing, growing, connecting. Did I mention connecting? Because accountability is where it's at that brings unity. Got to be around accountability partners who don't want to compete. They want to collaborate. They don't mind sharing strategies. You know, there are people who will only share just a little bit with you, but they won't give you the whole thing because they don't want you to get past them. That doesn't happen over here. A win for you is a win for us too. If we give you a strategy and you excel, listen, show me how to do what you did. If I excel, I want to show you how to do what I did. There is room at the top for everybody. The table, listen, it's time out for building a taller fence. And what we got to do is build a longer table. Did you hear what I just said? Too many times we're building a taller fence, want to keep certain folks out. What we need to do is we need to build a longer table instead of a taller fence. Too many times we play keep away and we play keep out. No, come on in where the table is spread. Come on. Come on. I look forward to the Eagles Academy each and every single Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. And I love it. Even if you're not able to be a part of it every single Wednesday night live, You always have access to go back and check out the show, check out the information, check out the conversation, check out the transformation. Listen, everybody who was in our session last Wednesday, whew, last week's session was out of this world. We only are supposed to go till about 9 o'clock, maybe 9:30. We didn't get out of there till close to 10:15, and we started at 7:30. It's something going on in the Eagles Academy, and that's why the academy is growing leaps and bounds quickly, expediently, expeditiously. You want to be a part of the growth. Hear me. There is a grace for growth on the Eagles Academy. And I encourage you to leap into it, soar into it, and join us. Join us. Go to theeaglesacademy.com right now. When you get there, tap the join now button. Fill out the form and get ready to be transformed. Oh, I like that. I like that. I got to say it twice because it's oh so nice. Go to theeaglesacademy.com. Tap the join now button. Fill out the form and get ready to be transformed. That's chicken soup for the soul right there. Go to theeaglesacademy.com/store as well. I have a number of different resources. I got about 14 different resources on there. Whether you want to buy merch, got some t-shirts. Yeah. Got some t-shirts over there. Not just going to clothe your body, but we're going to clothe your mind as well. Go get the successful speaker strategies, really showing you how to communicate in such an effective and efficient way. Go get the bestseller book blueprint, really showing you how to be an authority as an author, how to take your manuscript to the marketplace. Come on, somebody needs your book. Don't be hesitant to write it. Go ahead. And even if it's been written, even if you already have some copies of it, I'm showing you how to put it into the hands of other people so that your books don't just sit in the garage. Your books don't just get dust on them. Your books just don't take up space in the back of your trunk, but actually people are able to benefit from it. My goal in 2024 is to help you achieve yours. Go check out the resources, theeaglesacademy.com/store, accessidentity.org/author, accessidentity.org/speaker. So many resources out there that'll be worthwhile to you. It's time for you to make an investment in yourself. Make an investment in yourself. Make an intentional investment in yourself. Revolution not only be televised, it'll be digitized. So go there, check out the e-store. Got some free resources for you as well. More in 2024 ebook. Download my free digital training video called The Art of Communication. Plenty, plenty, plenty of resources that are out there for you. I hope I dropped some gems tonight. We're going to let it breathe. But you know I'm coming back. We might as well do it again. Not he say, she say, but his needs, her needs. Part 3. More is in store. And I don't know how far we're going to go with this. I don't know. I'm taking it one particular in the mix live at a time. That's all I'm doing. We may have to deviate from time to time, but hear me on this. We will always elevate every time. You can bet your bottom dollar on that one. You can take that to the bank. Take that and rewind it back. We may deviate from time to time. We may switch subjects. It's all right. May deviate from time to time, but we will elevate every time. Go to theeaglesacademy.com. Tap join now. Fill out the form. Get ready to be transformed. I am out of time, but I am not out of truth. I want to thank you for rocking with me. I want to thank you for riding with me. I want to thank you for rolling with me. each and every single day on In the Mix at 6, Monday through Friday. Don't try to make me do it Saturday and Sunday. A brother needs a break. Can I at least get 2 days for me, please? Please don't be so greedy. Yeah. Because as we talk about need, I do need rest. If I'm going to be needed for you, I do have to fulfill the need of rest so I can be at my best. If you don't rest, you rust. Self-care is one of the best cares. I did a session on rest. I'd encourage you to check that out. Talk about 7 types of rest that we all need. Go ahead and check it out. Go ahead and check that out. More than just physical rest. Other forms of rest that we need. Thank you for joining me on the digital airwaves of Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, and of course, YouTube. Please, even if you're watching me on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and Twitter or X, as they say, please, make sure that you come over to the YouTube side. Hit the like button. Comment, share, subscribe. Come on. Help a brother out. Brianna said, please rest, Dr. Eddie. Kara, one of our newest Eagles Academy members. Yes, Kara. Glad to have you. Said, I don't know how you do 5 days a week. Sometimes I don't know either. Rachel G said, yes, you do need rest. Yes, need in all caps. That must be it, Ruby. I do love teaching. I do love empowering. I do love seeing people live their best life. So follow me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, all of it at EddieConnorJr. Please put some respect on my name. No E's or S's in my last name. EddieConnorJr. And of course, if I can help you, if I can serve you in any way, if I can speak life into your life at an event or whatever the case may be, let me know. I'll be glad to serve and celebrate you. Yours truly, Dr. Eddie, your brother from another mother, your main man, 100 grand, family, you know it's been fun, but a brother got to run. It's been a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy beyond measure. Remember to keep the faith and believe it's going to be bigger, better, and brighter. Peace and love. Keep soaring higher.
Hey, it's yours truly, Dr. Eddie. Listen, don't you want to level up in your life? Don't you want to actually dominate this year? You need strategy, you need structure, you need solutions. If you're going to level up in your relationships, you're going to identify your brand identity. If you're going to identify your identity, this is your year to become more. This is your year to do more. I'm telling you, this is the time to grow your greatness. You need to be in a secure environment, in a community that really cares about your growth, that wants to enhance it, wants to push you in a place of not just information, but transformation for your application. I'm telling you, you don't just go as far as your dream, you go as far as your team. Join our team. Become a part of the Eagles Academy. Go right now to eaglesacademy.com. When you get there, tap the join now button and become a member of this amazing academy with so many amazing people, locally and globally, who understand that their network determines their net worth. They want to soar into success and purpose. I can't wait to see your face, not just your space. Go right now to eaglesacademy.com. Yeah.